Another area of interest for me at the moment within food design is called restoring biodiversity, of course. And this is just one example that I quite like. It's called Yolele, and it's a little cheap. The brand comes and the company is from West Africa, and it's made with West African own grain called fonio. And this is just an example of a company that is using local grains, local ingredients to move towards the maintenance or even restoring of the biodiversity of that region, and if not the planet. Another company that I quite like is called So True Seed. This is just one of similar companies. There are many around the world, luckily. In this company, simply they are trying to collect and then sell as many types of seeds as possible. Seeds of vegetables, fruits, herbs, etc. The owner of the company, Carol, says that today the problem of biodiversity persists with genetically engineered corn, for example. The same corn is being planted time after time all around the world, Carol says. We are noticing that there are blights that are happening, plant diseases, and they take down the whole crop. So the reason for you to have hundreds types of tomatoes, for example, is, Carol continues, should a blight come around or a bug, one of them or 5 of them will be resistant, and that's how Mother Nature works. So this is the simplest concept of biodiversity. This is the reason why we should restore and maintain biodiversity, because we need it. It just makes sense from a natural perspective. It just makes sense for us and human beings to assure that we will have abundance of food and prosperity in the future, in the present and in the future. So this makes sense. We all like it. We agree with it. But in March 2015, this is an example, okay? The EU Patent Board granted patents for 2 plants which had been bred conventionally and not genetically engineered. So we're talking about the fact that the EU Patent Board granted a patent for somebody who just was growing tomatoes and took the biggest tomato and the reddest tomato, and they took the seeds and planted those again, and the following year they had beautiful red tomatoes, and they got the seeds from the plant and made the biggest red, juicier tomatoes, etc., etc. So there's no there's no engineering. Nature is doing all the work. Human beings are just selecting, right, what works best for them with their soil, with their amount of sun or whatever. They have granted a patent for two plants that had been bred in this way. And unfortunately, this set a precedent for patents to be granted on conventionally produced seeds, plants and their seeds. This is a problem because patented seeds and plants are the property of the patent owner, who can restrict their use and distribution. If I own a plant, I can choose who gets it and how much they have to pay for it. This is a huge problem because this will increase the prices for farmers and consumers, me and you. It will decrease biodiversity and variety of food that we can find around, and it will endanger, therefore, food security.